Today we're going to be taking a look at my top 10 pieces of home gym equipment. My name is Ryan Treadaway, founder of TreadawayTraining.com. If you're interested in learning all about home gym equipment, consider subscribing to the channel. And if you want to work with us to learn how to use that equipment to transform your body, check out the website, TreadawayTraining.com. Let's dive in. First, let's talk about the rules. This is the best 10 pieces of equipment as judged by how much I use those pieces of equipment. Because it's one thing to say a piece of workout equipment is good, but how often do you actually use the thing? So that is the rule. We're gonna go in order from number 10 to number 1 in order of how much do I use the thing. But with my first item on the list, we're actually going to immediately break the rule that I just set, because as a power lifter, it is of no shock at all that my number 1 most used piece of equipment is a barbell. But if you watched an entire top 10 video only to hear me say barbell as number 1, I might have a mob forming outside of my house, because that would be the most anticlimactic ending to the video ever. And this particular barbell is my most used barbell, and it is the Rogue Ohio Power Bar. Number 9, which is actually my second most used piece of equipment, dumbbells. Again, you can see why I broke my own rule, because it is of no shock that in a home gym, I use dumbbells a lot in a workout. Dumbbells are extremely versatile. Remember, always get your basics in place first before venturing out and spending a whole lot more money on expensive specialty equipment that only allows you to do 1 or 2 functions. I've often said that, in my personal opinion, the humble dumbbell is the number 1 best health invention of all time, because you can hit every muscle in your entire body, and I would have to have like a 2-hour-long video to go through all of the benefits that building muscle has for your health. And these specifically are the Rogue Hex dumbbells. You can get any dumbbells though. You don't have to have Rogue ones. You can just go to Walmart and buy the cheapest ones you can find. They're gonna do the same thing. Number 8 is one that I reviewed very recently, the Rep Pegasus. Highly versatile piece of equipment. Of course, it is a lat pull seat. I have the leg roller portion detached at the moment, but you can attach the leg roller. You have a nice lat pull seat. You can detach the leg roller, and you have an adjustable back support pad. It's height adjustable, it's angle adjustable. Get whatever angle that you want to be able to do various exercises like standing incline presses, seal rows, standing flies, standing incline curls, put it lower and do hip thrusts, all sorts of stuff. And the leg roller, these unscrew. You can screw them to any 3x3 upright with 1-inch holes. And then that allows you to do all kind of other exercises that involve a leg roller, like Bulgarian split squats, Nordics, sit-ups, any number of exercises. So in terms of versatility, this thing is massively versatile, hence why it is one of my most used pieces of equipment. And then number 7, you thought we were gonna go somewhere, but we didn't. We're still in the same place, because number 7 is actually this, by surprise. It is the thing that the Pegasus is attached to, this humble GetRXd upright. I originally purchased this thing for storage, but it turned out to be one of my most used pieces of workout gear, because the first time I attached a pad to this upright for storage, I had a realization. I was like, wait a minute. It was just coincidence that I put the pad, and it was actually this pad, the GetRXd Seal Row pad. I put it on here and it happened to be at chest height, and I was like, wait a minute. I don't have to use this for storage. Why would I move it from this 3x3 upright over here to this 3x3 upright? I'll just use it on the storage upright. And thus, the epiphany, this isn't just for storage, this is a piece of workout gear in and of itself. And I use this storage upright for probably half of my workouts. And then I have the Rogue Landmine attached right here as well, so I can do landmine stuff. You can see that I have the Pritchett pad, which honestly doesn't get used very often because I don't do a ton of seal rows with a landmine, but on the off chance that I do, who knows, maybe I should just get rid of this thing, but my hoarder heart won't let me do it. But anyways, when I have this on here, I can do my landmine stuff, I can do any sort of landmine exercises. And currently I have the GetRXd lat pull low row attachment sitting over here on the Phoenix Tower, but it actually mostly lives on this storage upright. If you've been around the channel for a while, you've seen it in several videos, but I leave it attached right here. And sometimes I just use it for a step so that I can climb the tower to get the high attachments off. But then also that leaves it at the perfect height that it can be used for abs and things like that. Number 6 is the Freak Athlete Leg Developer, which goes with the Freak Athlete ABX. And this is the prototype version of the ABX. I feel I should mention that. I have the official full production model in-house that I'm testing for review right now. And since I've been using that one, this one has just become my dedicated leg extension leg curl machine. For those of you who have been around the channel for a while, I had a commercial leg extension leg curl in the basement gym that we shared with my parents, but since the move, I no longer have that. And so this is my new dedicated leg extension leg curl machine. Surprise! Next on the list, number 5, is another combo. Number 5 most used piece of equipment in the home gym is the Speediance Gym Monster 2, which I very recently reviewed and am thoroughly enjoying. And once I decided that I wanted to bring the ABX and the leg developer in here just to test with electronic resistance because I hadn't ever tried it before, it's been sitting right there ever since. I actually really like being able to do the eccentric mode with the leg extensions and the leg curls. That is a whole different level of brutal, by the way. But in addition to using it with the leg developer, I also have been using it for many of its intended functions as well, mainly a functional trainer that uses digital resistance. And along with it, excuse the messy room, I have not cleaned up since doing that review. It also has a rower attachment that you can use, and the rowing mode works really well. I've used the rowing mode a couple more times since that review, and honestly, I prefer using the rower with the Gym Monster, probably more so than using like a Concept 2 or a Merrick or any other magnetic resistance rower. And so I'm seriously contemplating just getting rid of all the other rowers that I have to save space, and then using this in conjunction with the Gym Monster. Number 4 is this fancy chair, also known as the GetRXd Optimus. And since recording my review on the Optimus, I have started liking the back pad a little bit more. I mentioned that it had a lot of versatility in that video, but it's one of those things where as a reviewer, I'm trying to think of how everyone else might use it. And so I can mention it's very versatile, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to use it in my own personal workout every single day. However, with this guy, since putting that video out, I've actually started using this thing even more. And in my personal opinion, if you have a Phoenix Tower, you need the Optimus back pad because you unlock a lot of versatility if you have the back pad in comparison with the dual tornado arms. I'm gonna be doing a dedicated review on the Phoenix Tower once I have a chance to use it a little bit more, but the value of the Optimus has definitely gone up a lot since I've been using the Phoenix Tower more. And I failed to mention this in my comparison video comparing the Pegasus and the Optimus head to head, but if you have the Pegasus, you can take the Optimus back pad and it will work with the Pegasus. So if you already have a Pegasus, don't feel like you've missed out, you can add this to it, and it adds a whole lot of versatility. I can't necessarily say how much versatility it will add if you have something like the Adonis, or if you have a tornado rack and you're using it just off of one side. However, if you have a Phoenix Tower with the dual tornado arms, or if you have a center post for a tornado rack or a similar rack with arms on it, then you definitely will get a whole lot of variety out of the Optimus and the Optimus back pad. If you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing. Number 3 is the Phoenix Tower itself. So third time in this video that we're having a combo back to back in the list. And if you'll notice, there have been quite a lot of GetRXd products in this top 10 list. I had never used a piece of GetRXd equipment in my life before reviewing the Tornado Rack last year. And since then, I have picked up several more pieces of GetRXd equipment, and I'm really loving it. When it comes to GetRXd in general, while their fit and finish isn't always the best, and it seems like they kind of have to sometimes cut a corner here or there to come in at a certain price point. You know, I would consider them to be like middle of, or maybe a little bit lower into the premium tier of equipment. What they lack in fit and finish, they more than make up for in willingness to experiment and come up with creative equipment. The dual tornado arms unlock a whole new level of versatility, even beyond the regular tornado arms over here on the Tornado Rack. The ability to have two arms connected to each other, and the fact that you can go in a full 180 from front to back rather than a 180 side to side, that actually makes a big difference. And I don't want to spend too much time on this one piece. Be on the lookout for that review in a couple of weeks, because I have a lot to say about this thing. One question that you probably have right now is, why would you need a Phoenix Tower if you already have the Tornado Rack? And that would be a good question. And part of the answer is, I have a YouTube channel where I review equipment. But the other part of the answer for someone who doesn't review equipment as a job is it does give you a little bit of extra versatility in comparison to the rack, even if you already have the rack. One is it can be a dedicated lat pull down low row, because you can simply bring the arms up to the top, flip them around to the front, raise them up, and you can use a connector plate to use this as just a regular old lat pull down. Pair it with either the Pegasus or the Optimus or any other lat pull seat. Boom. And if you leave it on there attached, you literally just have a dedicated lat pull seat. And GetRXd has a couple of different options for connector plates, but what I've actually been doing is using this Corachem cable handle attachment and using it in the reverse of what they intend for you to use it for. Because what this is made for is for you to use a single cable and then attach the dual handles and have independent handles on a single cable. But I've done the exact opposite, and I use it as my cable connector. I flip it upside down and connect it to the dual tornado arms, and then I have a single attachment point in the middle to use any single cable handle that I want. And so it works really, really well for lat pull downs. Pair it with a low row attachment like I have here. And I have some experiments. Again, you'll see that in the future review, but you can have essentially a dedicated lat pull low row, plus you have all sorts of other stuff. Again, don't want to spoil too much for that review because I have some more ideas that I have to buy some more stuff to add to this for. Then number 2 is the Tornado Rack. This is where, honestly, I spend most of my time. Surprise, surprise, a powerlifter spends a lot of time in a squat rack. But especially before I had the Speediance upstairs that I do a lot of cable work on, and the Phoenix Tower over to my left, I really spent a whole lot of time in this spot right here, because all of my cable work was done here, plus all of my barbell work was done here as well. Let me pause and say that every major equipment company has their own cable power rack combo, so GetRXd doesn't have the monopoly on this. However, one thing that makes them very special is the tornado arms that we have already been talking about, which unlocks a massive amount of versatility because you can swing the arms out, you can swing them in, you can swing them up, you can swing them down. They're not the only ones that have arms nowadays, but they were one of the first, if not the first, that has the fully articulating free motion style arms on a rack. Combine that that with a lot of their attachments, some of which we've already talked about, and a center post, and you have massive, massive versatility with just the footprint of your rack. And one thing that is really cool about this rack, which is a result of a little bit of custom work on my end, is you'll see that this is not a 6-post configuration. This is an 8-post configuration. So essentially what I did was I bought 2 additional uprights, I bought 4 additional cross members, bolted them onto the front to extend them out, and then I got a crimping tool, some extra cable, found identical cable terminations so that I could put the same official terminations on the end. I made a custom length cable, and now I have an 8-post functional trainer rack because I absolutely hated having to take stuff off the rack just to let the stupid trolley up and down. And it made me honestly not even really want to use the functional trainer arms because I didn't want to take the time to adjust it when I already don't have that much time to work out. And so you'll see I would have to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things just to be able to let it up and down. But now that I have added the extension legs out, I can leave my spotter arms set up all the time. I can leave my squat J hooks set up all the time, my bench J hooks, which the bench J hooks were never in the way, but I have those set up all the time. And then when I want to switch over to use my cable stuff, all I have to do is step out of the rack and move it up and down freely. And so instead of having a functional trainer power rack combo, it's more like having a 4-post power rack inside of a functional trainer. So you get all of the benefits and none of the drawbacks. And number 1, I told you I didn't want it to be anticlimactic. I bet nobody saw this coming for my number 1 most used piece of equipment, the Titan Ronin. This guy right here is a very specialty piece of equipment. It's an adjustable plyo box that goes all the way from 6 inches, I believe is the lowest setting, all the way up to 60 inches at the top. Now, you might be thinking, Ryan, you're a powerlifter. Why in the world do you use an adjustable jump box so much? And admittedly, I don't use it for jumping as much as I would like because with the limited time that I have, it's hard to find the time for jump training. But I actually use this thing basically every single day of my life. One of the functions, as you might can tell, is to serve as a table. That is not why it is number 1 on the list though, but it does make for a really good table. The reason why is because in addition to using it for jump training, it serves a whole bunch of other purposes. Anything that you can do with a jump box, you can do with this. You can do it for step ups. If you want to have any sort of front foot or back foot elevated exercises, you can set it low, throw your foot up on there, you're good to go. Of course, you can use it for jump training as already mentioned, but honestly what I use it most for is stretching because I've been working on becoming more mobile. And check this out. And there you have it. Those are the top 10 best pieces of home gym equipment, specifically as judged by how much Ryan Treadaway actually uses them. If you want to see individual reviews on any of the pieces, they're down in the description, or if you want to purchase any of the pieces that I mentioned, also links down in the description. I have affiliate links for I think all of them, so it will help out the channel if you use those links. As always, God bless you and your family, and we'll see you in the next one. Today we're going to be talking about my top 10 favorite pieces. Back up. For those of you who have been around the channel, If it was, it ain't now.